Okay, this is part 4. This is where we're going to try to start to weave all this stuff together because I know a lot of it doesn't make sense to you right now. So these are all the pictures and some new ones that I used to do the first few videos. And I'm going to go over them, but I'm going to go over them rapidly because I want to get this done in the shortest amount of time. But anyway, let's just begin randomly here. This is Danny, and Wendy is reading Catcher in the Rye. The Catcher in the Rye was published July 16th, 1945, I believe it was. And it was written by J.D. Salinger. And July 16th is the same day that the Apollo 11 rocket launched. Danny he's got a little Star Trek phaser toy over here, okay? Here it is again. You know, Gary Lockwood was the first Star Trek guest star on the first Star Trek. It's always Jungian first. So we got his Star Trek toy. He's eating a sandwich. Here he is in the maze. He has his Star Trek phaser toy with him. Here's Jackie Robinson, number 42. The first black professional baseball player, signed at 42 years old, won Rookie of the Year at 42 years old. So 42, 42, 42, 42. Jackie Robinson Day is a holiday. It's April 15th, IRS tax day. Also the day the Titanic sank. Michael Collins, the astronaut, his family brews or distills this whiskey. It's called Michael Collins whiskey. So we have the Moonshots, Moonshine, Michael Collins whiskey. We have Jack Daniels whiskey. Here's Woody Strode, the first black professional football player. And this is Kubrick's movie Spartacus. Notice that he has Neptune's trident in his hand. So this is the first professional football player here ever. Once again, it's always Jungian first. So here we have Woody Strode. We've got the Chrome Collins axe. This is a Collins brand fire axe. It's made by probably by the same family that makes the whiskey, but I don't know if that's true or not. But it is the Collins fire axe. So the Apollo 1 crew dies in a fire, and we have Jack with the Collins fire axe. In the book, it's a croquet mallet. Once again, it's a ball. It's a croquet ball. Here we have the chairs arranged in an interesting order. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, a space, and then the 7. 6 out of 7 is 42. 6 out of 7 of the continents are real. 7 is Antarctica. It surrounds you, the Laurel Corona. Here's Jack Daniels. This is what Jack Nicholson drinks in the bar. So you've got Jack Torrance, Danny Torrance, Jack and Danny, Jack Daniels. Old number 7, 7 Apollo missions. And it was founded by moonshiners, Tennessee moonshiners. See, the Moonshots, Moonshine, We All Shine On, The Shining. We All Shine On is a song by John Lennon and then entitled Instant Karma. And that was the inspiration for Stephen King to write the book The Shining, was John Lennon's song We All Shine On. This is the summer of 42 we see in the movie. There's numerous repetitions of 6 out of 7, 42. So here's summer of 42. Here's Jack Nicholson doing his card face. You know, he's the two-eyed Jack in this one, obviously. And he says, here's Johnny. Johnny is the king of late night. So once again, we're doing card game allegories here. So we have the Jack here, the two-eyed Jack. And we've got, here's Johnny, Johnny Carson, king of late night. We have the Corona shape again with the afro. It's a ball, but it has a cutout in it, just like the Shea Stadium, just like the horseshoe, just like the bull's horns. Here's the Apollo 11 crew. This is Michael Collins, like the whiskey. You got Buzzy Aldrin here. He's got a bit of a drinking problem. this is a movie playing in the background when Wendy's on the telephone. The name of the movie is called Carson City, and it was directed by Andre de Toth. Andre de Toth is a one-eyed director. He's a one-eyed Jack. Here we have 42 again. 4 chairs, a space, and then 2. Jack goes to the bar. He drinks 4 doubles. He has 2 10s and 2 20s. It's always 42, 42, over and over and over. Here we are again, 6 out of 7. He goes back to the bar, and now it's 6 chairs, a space, and a 7th chair. 6 out of 7 is 42. And he says, your money's no good here now. Here he is, the Jack Daniels. He's doing the 4 doubles, 42. This is Vivian Kubrick, and I don't know if it's her sister, but it's Vivian Kubrick, and here we have the Jungian opposites. We have the white dress and the black dress. They've intertwined their hands here. They've woven their hands together to drink the drinks. And Jack is dancing around in his velour jacket. This is from Dumb and Dumber. This is the Stanley Hotel where Stephen King wrote the book The Shining. And, you know, he's walking out. He goes, oh, I landed on the moon. Pretty funny. The twins, you got the Gemini twins, the pre-Apollo is the Gemini twins. The hands are always being mirrored 2 different ways. Every time you see them, they flip the mirror. Here's Andre de Toth, the guy that directs the movie Carson City that's seen on the television set when Wendy's watching TV. He's a one-eyed Jack. Here's John Ford. John Ford did a lot of work with Woody Strode. They were very good friends. John Ford's a one-eyed Jack. He did a lot of movies with John Wayne as well, and Woody Strode. So that's interesting. We got another one-eyed Jack that's a filmmaker that's involved with Woody Strode and John Wayne. We've got the fisheye. I already went through that already. We got the Minotaur. Notice the shape, the C shape, the corona, the horseshoe shape, okay? You know, we got the Coriolis with the bathtub and little Alex. The bathtub and Barry Lyndon. The bathtubs, I didn't copy all. Here's the gyro again. We have the Earth doesn't rotate. Here's Dr. Strangelove globe. The horse skull, it's not a taper skull, he's beating the dead horse. We have the Coriolis rifle, the Coriolis toilet, you're in a world of shit. The toilet seat is shaped like the letter C, like the corona, like the horseshoe. Here, the balls again, you know. The Coriolis rifle range, the fake moon landings, the bathrooms. This is a sync to a movie called The Phantom Carriage. It kind of mirrors what Kubrick did in his movie. The fluoride, and he blows his brains out in the bathroom, the Coriolis bathroom. The Minotaur. Here we see the C-shaped corona again, the Minotaur, and its cycloptic eye. It's a one-eyed Jack. The Cyclops is a one-eyed Jack. Hal is a one-eyed Jack. The moon is a one-eyed Jack. You've got the one-eyed Jack playing card allegory. You got Blackjack, Kennedy's horse. You got the plane flying downhill. You got Theseus and Danny. He's walking in his own footprint. He's in the Minotaur. Jack is the Minotaur. Danny is Theseus. He's in the maze. You live in the maze. The bathrooms again. 1 point perspective. 1 point perspective. The International Astronomical Union is the group that names all the craters, which we're looking at crater names. The monolith, the large flat stone. The Minotaur allegory with the corona-shaped horns. And the one-eyed Jack, just like Hal. The Matador. The fake moon missions. The blue marble, the one-eyed marble. The Matador again. The gyro, it's a real gyro you see in 2001: A Space Odyssey. The gyro doesn't rotate because we don't rotate. The red bathrooms, the redheads and the balls. The secret societies that run everything. The Laurel Corona and the 33 segment globe map. The AE, azimuthal equidistant map. The magic circle from Eyes Wide Shut game. The zero-G toilet. There's no Coriolis in zero-G. Coriolis and the toilet. The bathrooms and the crazy lady. The bathrooms and the 42 jersey, 6 out of 7. Lolita, that we have the bathtub, and he's drinking whiskey. Psychomagnetic anomaly, named after the man that could prove we didn't live in a globe and was murdered by Kepler by mercury poisoning. Tycho Brahe, the same guy. He was the first man that could prove we didn't live in a globe. Zero-G toilets. The Psychomagnetic anomaly is a movie screen. Everything you see about space is a movie screen. The tides from Clockwork Orange. The carpeting. This is a 427 Cobra here, or Corvette here. Every one of the astronauts got a 427 Corvette, and this is a Mustang, convertible Mustang. This is a bulldozer. This is a tennis ball. The clue, we're looking for a tennis star. So the tennis star that I found immediately was Billie Jean King. She's a king. She's the tennis star that we're looking for. And she's born the day that JFK dies, November 22nd. We have the hand-knitted sweater and the carpet and the shiny wall. Everything's shiny in The Shining. We have Apollo and his Laurel Corona, and he's a bowman, just like, 2001, the bowman. He also plays music as well, and he's a medicine man. He's Doc. Danny is Doc, the white rabbit. The AE map, the corona surrounds you. The Mercator projection maps, fluoride in the bathroom, the tub, beating a dead horse, the fisheye, the gyro that's not failing, the Bowman pool, the two NASA swimming pool, Bowman the archer, Apollo the archer. The fossilized fish with the fisheye in it, he's drinking whiskey, great party, his head is split open. The toilets, the bathrooms, the bathrooms, the bathrooms. The Clavius base, the man that produced the first Gregorian calendar based on the heliocentric model. And he steals Kepler's or Tycho's work. We have the Clavius base on 2001: A Space Odyssey, named after him. That's pretty clear what we're seeing here. Colville's Horse and Train, Blackjack Kennedy's Riderless Horse. It's a card game. It's a blackjack. It's Bobby takes the train, Kennedy takes the horse, but JFK takes the horse. We're not ready for this one yet. Anne Margaret, the redhead queen. The Apollo 1 crew. Aces are 1 or 11. The Apollo 1 crew died in the fire. So we have, in The Shining, we have the fire axe, and Danny wants to play with his fire truck. And in the book, the hotel burns down. We have the Burns twins in the movie. They were sisters in the book, so they're Burns twins in the movie. You get the Gemini twins, a zodiac sign. The Jungian opposites, light and dark. You've got the first black football player. We're looking for Jungian champions, greats. The Corona Flushing, it's Corona Queens, Flushing, New York. So you've got the queen is the queen, you've got the Flushing is the toilet, and it's Corona is the Minotaur Corona. This is the unisphere, the monolith, the unisphere. This is where you think you live, but you don't. The Corona Borealis, the same she-shape. You have the horseshoe, the Corona Borealis, you have, it goes on and on. The toilet seat, the Flushing, New York. Pile, Buck Turgidson. We're talking about turds and toilet. You got the bull allegory here. He's riding the bull bomb down. He's a matador. He was a matador in real life and a rodeo clown. The twins, the Gemini twins. You have the Jungian opposites here. Twins are often Jungian opposites. They're different heights, actually. They're a little bit different, but they're almost the same. The Minotaur myth, the Greek allegory. Here's the Minotaur, and Theseus is slaying him. Jack Nicholson, the Joker. You know, he plays in the Batman, the Joker. You've got Full Metal Jacket. You got Joker, 8 Ball. You've got, you know, all these card game allegories going all over in his movies. Anne Margaret, Queen of Vegas. Now, Queen of Vegas, let me explain that because I didn't earlier. But in the movie Dr. Strangelove, Slim Pickens, in the movie, he says, a guy could have a pretty good weekend in Dallas with all this stuff. Well, it had to be changed after the movie was released. The movie is released on JFK's death day. So the movie gets retracted. They edit Dallas out and they change it to Vegas. So now when you watch the movie, it says, boy, a fella could have a good weekend in Vegas. So why are we giving, you know, Anne Margaret, Queen of Vegas? Because Dallas was changed to Vegas. We get the Matador that Scatman drives. We've got the Star Trek phaser. Gary Lockwood is the first guest star on Star Trek. So there's a Star Trek thread here. Same thing. Oh, Wendy Reed's Catcher in the Rye in that shot, which is published July 16th. The whole puzzle works off dates, which I have not even got into yet because you're not ready for it. Here's the labyrinth. Danny has his phaser toy. You know, the Avalanche, the Stanley Hotel, where Stephen King writes the book, The Shining. And The Summer of 42, you know, starring O'Neill there. What's her name? Anyway, so it's 42 again. And a lot of this is based on birthdays. We hear Kubrick in Full Metal Jacket, Matthew Modine says, oh, it's a Jungian thing. Well, it turns out Carl Jung was born the same day as Stanley Kubrick, and as was Aldous Huxley. So we have a nexus of people that are included in this puzzle with the doors of perception. You have Dave Bowman is blowing the door open to get back into the spaceship. You have Slim Pickens is getting the Bombay doors to open. Jack is smashing the door of the bathroom, and there's always a door of perception that he's breaking through. So we find out that the people that he's alluded to in his movies, Jung and Aldous Huxley, were born on the same day he was. So here's a shot of Kubrick on his birthday. And the puzzle uses Jungian famous people's birthdays. And I'm not going to touch on this in this video, but just be aware of it. And this is one of the clues that Kubrick's talking about birthdays. You know, it's Frank Poole's birthday in 2001: A Space Odyssey when his parents call him to wish him a happy birthday. It's Vivian Kubrick's birthday when she gets the video phone call from Dr. Floyd. It's Ryan O'Neill's son's birthday when he gets the horse for his birthday. So, like I said, I'm not going to touch on it any further than this, but just know it. And that's the end of this video. Thank you.